Oh, cool. Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca, and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. It is so wonderful to have you joining me again today to continue our blind playthrough of Tunic. And man, even that beginning there was really cool with the little warp tree, going down. And of course, we gotta have a look. Oh my god! This remains one of the most amazing, cool things I think I've ever seen in a video game, and that's a tall call, and I'm making it. I'm making it with full feeling and confidence behind what I'm saying there. This music is some of the most beautiful, magical music I have ever heard. Ever heard in a video game as well. I love it. I love it so much. I don't think we can go further here for the time being though, because oh, that's not what I meant to do. Because I think possibly these are the keys to transferring over there. But I don't know what to do with them. So, au revoir, beautiful, maybe library, I think that's how we get that working. Let's head down. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. It's okay. Relax, everybody. All right. Now, as much as I love that music up there, and by the way, I mentioned that this music here really reminds me of Plantasia, the album Plantasia by Mort Garson. So does the music, in many ways, so does the music up above in what I think is the library. Anyway, guys, I got some big things to talk to you about, and I'm very, very excited about it. I'm very excited. So sit down. I hope you got yourself like a nice cup of tea and a snack or something. Get ready. We're gonna whiz away to another dimension, another sort of reality of some sort. Are you ready? All right. I hope you're comfortable. We've got a lot of very exciting stuff to go through, and we're going to start with something that was truly devastating, except devastating in the best way. You might say devastating like a fox. Devastating like a fox, as represented by my upset face here. You might already be able to see where this is going. So we'll get to this page later. However, the important thing is this part of the page. I have managed, at various points during this analysis since our last episode, and since the episode prior to that as well. Like, this is a kind of a slow accumulated effort of like going back and forth between different pages and texts, and guessing and validating and checking lots of different characters, to the point where I had, at various points, I'd say I've got a good couple of pages of characters here. Anyway, I'm going to start with this particular major realization here, which is that once I was able to get enough to work out that this word here was land, and this was a really good find for me, to work out that this character here, this symbol, was far. It became pretty obvious to me, and I knew that this part was way, became pretty obvious to me that what this is saying is this far away land. And the only way that I could make this work is by realizing that this character that I had long assumed was not in fact the, because it's not the way. It is, of course, our way. And I realized that up until now I've had and the completely the wrong way around. So therefore, my day ruined. However, actually, my day greatly enhanced. Obviously, this is tongue-in-cheek, but let's have a little bit of drama about it. I am only having an amazing time doing this. Obviously, this is a really good core foundational realization to have had, and it's been brilliant, because there were so many things I had already. There were so many ways in which this worked perfectly fine. It actually, in so many ways, worked perfectly fine to have and the swapped around in many places, but there were many places where I was bothered by it, and I was like, this seems like weird phrasing. Well, now I know why. Now I know why it was weird phrasing. And this is where it all went wrong. And, you know, you might obviously have clocked this at the time. And, you know, like, that's... that would be natural. A lot of you already know how this is going to go. For me, though, this is brilliant. Like, I don't consider this... this might sound weird and this might sound like cope to you, but honestly, I just consider this all a really important part of learning. Like this has just been this whole exercise has necessarily been taking the occasional stab at things, going on, and then being able to find my way to new points of confirmation and validation, and part of that confirmation being, I've got to go back. That thing I thought before is incorrect. And that is all part of it. Like, you know, I suppose to put it in another way, none of this is an exam. Like, I'm not trying to prove a set of existing knowledge that I've been like memorizing or learning over a long period of time. This is figuring out. This is figuring something out. This is unpacking. This is breaking apart. This is puzzling something from absolute scratch, right? Bit by bit, brick by brick, piecing it together. So despite my little, you know, devastated face here, actually this was completely brilliant. But this is where that incorrect assumption came from. Of course, it was seeing this text and thinking that this page that was all about the A button was telling me press and hold A button, press and hold A button. But no, it's saying press and hold the button. You know, where we're already discussing the context of the A button. Hey, do you know that A button we've been talking about? Well, press and hold the button. Press and hold that button we've been talking about. So, this has been great. I've been correcting this everywhere where I have A and the. Brilliant. Thank you, far away land. Thank you, far away land. So here is another major, very exciting realization that I had, and it came from this first character here. As I had worked out that this was very likely the character for tie that went within the word time, I saw it somewhere else where I absolutely thought, from the context of it, and I can't remember where that is, I thought, I bet this is the sound it. It was actually in item, maybe, is where I was, you know, which is a word that I've been very confident about for a long time. I think I just saw it there and I went, oh, hang on, that's my very recognizable character for time, but with a dot at the bottom, and it just, bam, it just clicked. I went, hang on a freaking second, is this dot at the bottom of the word, at the bottom of the symbol, indicating that you are reversing the sounds? And of course that, you know, that is what I have seen, and it was very exciting. It was very exciting not just because of figuring that out, but because this gives me so many, like a big fat stack of new ways of working things out and new ways of confirming things. So first off, I just have to say, very elegant, very interesting, absolutely fascinating way of doing it, to say, you know, this writing system is based on sound. This is based on sound, and so here is a simple way of creating new, you know, a whole range of new written expressions of sounds without actually coming up with entirely new characters for them. You just add a dot, and you can, you know, like slapping the top of the car, you can get so many more syllables into this baby, right? So it's really clever. I was very impressed, but also, as I said, this gives me so many different ways of understanding how I can work things out. You can reverse engineer this knowledge. So I had a bunch of things I was fairly certain of. I knew that this was up. Hey, it's got a dot at the bottom. Well, that means when you take that little circle away, you got pa. You got yourself a pa. Isn't that brilliant? It's so brilliant. And that's, you know, like, it means I can cross-check things. Like, if I come across two of them in different places, it helps me to confirm whether I have one of them right or or not. It's just brilliant. It's so good. It's so good. Oops, sorry, that was my pen on the microphone there, making a little ting. Okay, here is a challenge that I had to work out. I kind of mentioned this in previous episodes. I have now become very comfortable with the typical spatialization, let's say, the typical shape, and the pattern of spatialization, the typical construction of our script here, of the parts of our script. I've become very comfortable with it now, but what this involved, one of the big challenges this involved for me was working out, let's say I have what seems to be two different characters here, and they have a line in between, which character do I put this line on? Does this central line go on this character on the left? Or does this central line go on this character on the right? What I worked out, as I got more and more characters and just kind of looking at the page was, you know what? Generally, the symbols keep the right side open. As you can see here, generally they're a little bit leftward heavy. Pixie! Oh, it's too early, Bubba. Pixel's next to me. Kind of like... how can I describe? Like sort of gently scratching on kind of like a poster that I have to the side. And that's his way of saying, please feed me. But guess what, Pixel? It's way too early, my little love. It's way too early. Mummy's talking about language. Yeah. Can Mummy talk a little bit about language? He probably doesn't approve, but let's go on. So what this, suggested to me is, you know what, in the vast majority of cases, this line is going to fit onto this character, because generally speaking, this leftward tendency in the characters is it's a clever and essential way to make this written script work, to make it workable. You don't want characters, if you have to put something that has left lines, if you want to put something that has right hand lines and attach it to something that has left hand vertical lines, you're gonna have trouble. Are they intersecting? What are you doing with that? This is a clever way of avoiding that. This is a brilliant way of making this script work so that they easily fit together, and it solves the problem for me. Like, I know that they have that tendency. I know what to do with the central line when I see it in most cases. Now, this is another thing. I've mentioned this before. This is an inevitable challenge with working out any kind of language that is based on sound, that is based on syllables and things like that, is that obviously we all have different dialects, we all have different accents and different versions of English, and so there are going to be cases, that are going to come up where we say things differently, and so we have different expectations about the way words, the way particular words sound, and therefore what the component parts, are. And so indeed, this is what I've come up against. So good example here, this first one here, I had worked out the word focus with a ka in the middle, and I was like, cool, this sound is ka, this sound is ka. I knew that this word was controls, and as I started pulling it apart and working out bit by bit, what all of the, the component parts of it were, I was like, great, it definitely is controls. Hang on a second. Why does it have ka at the beginning? Because I was expecting this to be ko. In my accent, I would say focus controls, ka ko. But actually, most likely, I'm saying, so I have the evidence in front of me. I would say most likely this is an American game with some kind of American, whoever is constructing this language has some version of an American accent. So I would guess, I can't do an American accent. This is going to be so terrible. I'm so sorry. I apologize. But they're probably saying something like controls, use the controls. You know, it's so weird and awkward for me to try to do that. I apologize, but yeah, you know, there's the difference. Again, this one gave me a little bit of trouble because I had learned this character in what I was very sure was the word button, and so I thought button, or even like with a schwa. That's my little version of a schwa. Button. I had also come across this in the word stick, and I was pretty dang sure this was the word stick, where it's T. So this gave me trouble when I was trying to work out this word, and at first I thought, is it saying stall? But it's saying still, because it is the T in stick. It's the T. So this is kind of being said with a batin, which is just not how I would pronounce it. This one as well gave me a bit of a challenge because I had worked out this character here both in its forward and reverse version in various ways. And it was the M in empty. In this circumstance where I was, as I was going through it, I was starting to think, well, this is surely the word important, but hang on, why does it start with M? Why is it important? Similarly, I found it here where I was fairly sure this word was minty, so me, I've got this me, im kind of difference here that's coming from accent. And even here with this character, where I had actually worked out the word via somewhere, and I thought, oh, this is vi, that's what I wrote it down as. Then I came across it here in a word I was fairly sure was even, in reverse, v. So I thought, yeah, okay, I see what I've done here. Actually, this is via. This is the different pronunciation of the word. This is via, not via. Anyway, so there's quite a few sort of examples like that throughout the place, but I thought that was interesting. Something else that I have found interesting, and maybe you will find interesting, and I think is kind of really cool, a really cool aspect of this whole exercise, is that as I've been going, I've actually been forced to create my own language just to be able to handle this analysis, because obviously a lot of the time what I'm doing is I'm looking at things on the screen and I'm then trying to find those characters in my, slew of notes in my little notebook here, right? And a lot of the time, just to try and be able to describe the characters to myself, literally like saying them out loud to myself a lot of the time, over and over again, like going, left flag, bottom gem, left flag, bottom gem. And that's how I can kind of follow along through all of these notes to try and find what I'm looking for. So I've had to come up with my own language for the parts that make up these symbols, right? So I just thought this was a really interesting thing to share with you, and I've kind of like tried to note some of these down. So I've been calling this one like full gem or almost full gem. A lot of these are probably very understandable, right? Branch, this is my lefty or my righty branch. This is my Pac-Man. A lot of this just comes from the gut, right? It's just, I'm not thinking about it. If to be useful as a mnemonic, like or I don't know if this would be called a mnemonic, but it's something like a mnemonic, right? To be the most useful for me and the way my brain works, I just go with what it appears, what it seems like to me immediately. So I'm not overthinking anything. This is line. This is a Y. You don't have to ask why. You can see why. This is an origami bird to me. Origami bird, up arrow, down arrow. I've been calling this an open shed. Maybe that's a very Australian tendency. It's just working for me. This is definitely building, and this little smaller version of it is tiny building. This one here is duck. This is hook. This is reachy or catchy. This is fish. This is one. This is a bucket, and it might be like an upper lefty bucket or a lower righty bucket or something like that. This is definitely an eye. Surely anybody would call this an eye, right? This is just a tick. It might be an up lefty tick or a down righty tick or something. This is a carrot. This is a snail, and this is a dead snail. It might be a left or a right dead snail. This one I really love. It immediately struck me as mountain because it's one line short of the actual Japanese kanji, the Japanese kind of Chinese character for mountain. which is Yama, incidentally. And I decided to call this one a hungry fish. So, yeah, that's part of my process for how I've been going through all of this. This is another little point of interest here. I've been thinking about the fact, I've been doing this so much that I would come back to the fact that there are these little oddities in the manual where the fox character themselves, whoever they are, I don't know if they're us or a different fox character. I've got some thoughts on that, but for now, I've been going, well, hang on, this character these two characters, these two words that I had, I'm fairly sure worked out fairly early on before any of this actual, focus on the characters, lost and see. But I went back to it and I was like, why no gap? Why no gap below the horizontal letters here? And indeed, when we get to this page, what they're thinking has no line whatsoever. And at first I just thought this was an odd character, and I was like, it must be a special name or something like that. But then after all of this, I've sort of gone, well, hang on, what if you add the line here? What if this is the same set of characters, but it's just simply, for whatever reason, missing this horizontal line? In that case, you end up with this set of two characters. And if so, I'm able to make little tiny jokes in the language now. I haven't figured out what it says yet because I don't have this character. I think this character is Ra. Actually, I'm just looking up the pronunciation in my notes. Yeah, Ra from drop. So Ra, like a Ra. I could be wrong because it's got quite long lines there, but that's what I think it is. So... And this raises another really interesting question, which is, why does the fox character have these different forms of writing the text? I don't know, but I find it curious. I find it very interesting. So I'm thinking about that. Now, I'm just going to show you some of the progress that I've made on a bunch of things, right? Since we last sat down to sort of check in with one another. So this is kind of the progress I've been able to make from like how far I've come. For example, this one, Lower Forest, I'm pretty sure that this says ruins of fortress. And it makes a lot of sense that this area is associated with a fortress, because we do indeed have these big kind of areas with a lot of the rudlings and the moblins and all of that, right? That's very interesting. This one helped me work out a couple of characters. I won't say that it's confirmed yet, but I would say I'm feeling very, very good about this. So I think this is also the ruins of, and you can see here, I've settled on, I know that this is of now, but I did go back and forth, and I'll explain a little bit more about this as we go. But ruins of, and I had enough to have a good guess that I reckon this was saying old village. J was actually the first thing I started with here, and this kind of, I think I eventually found a le, and I just had a good guess that this is O, and this is, ol, and it's the reverse of lo. And village. So yeah, this way to town, the ruins of old village. Pretty cool. Now on that question of on and in, I went back to this and sorry, that was me hitting the microphone. Through whatever means, wherever I was at the time, I reevaluated this and I went, no, I'm so sure this had caused me doubt that my original thinking that this character was incorrect. No, it was correct, and this is not of. This is in. So I thought, well, hang on, how does this work to say haul in time? And then I realized it's you just give it a little twist, say it a little bit differently. Haul in time. This whole of time made a lot of sense to me, but haul in time equally makes a lot of sense, right? So that's super interesting. I'm pretty sure that the shops are holes in time. Again, why? What that means, I don't know, but it's very cool. It's very cool, and I reckon that that's good. Okay, I'm quite excited about this one, because at first I got to a point where I thought, okay, this is my character that I had, and I knew that I've known for quite a while this is not God, but it's been a mystery character for me for a while, and so I've just been calling it this so I can sort of identify it. I really didn't come across this character in any identifiable way for a really long time, so it was a really nutty mystery. But I knew that this was likely two words that end in "t", and I was fairly sure, I knew this one eventually was cart, which either was cut or cart, and I wasn't sure. Then I got to a point, I finally cracked this mystery character and realized that it is Shaw, and so this is Shortcut. This is Shortcut. That was really surprising and very delightful to me, because I had always been thinking that what this text was going to say was going to be like, let's say, like the name of the sect of the Rudlings, or like what they call themselves or what they call their place or something like that. No, it's a freaking shortcut. And what I realized as soon as I translated this is, I can access this, and I have never actually gone up to this gate and opened this. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing that straight away in this episode once I'm through with this. This one I actually haven't cracked yet, though it's actually possible. I could be wrong about that. It's just very hard. It takes a long time to go through this bit by bit. It takes a long time. So even I might even have all of these characters yet, but what I have to do is actually spend the time to go back and check. Anyway, I don't know that I have all of these characters yet, but I do know that this is J, and I am pretty sure I know now that this is Pa or Pe. I can't even see, but I'm kind of guessing that this might be passage. Danger, no passage, because it's locked. It's locked. You can't go in. This one was very thrilling, and later on, like in a bit, I'll show you where I actually got this character. But I do think that this character here is Soul, and so that was very exciting because I didn't know what went here. I think it says something about no souls. No souls I haven't quite got this one yet, but I think this is souls, which is very interesting because for a while my best guess was that this was oils. I was like, what would be blank oils? And I was like, oils? Is oils go in here? I think it's souls. And I think there's something very interesting going on with souls, but we'll get to that. I thought this one was delightful because when I actually went back to sort of work this out after I had a good amount of characters, I went, you know what? This freaking says finally, which I'm pretty sure is actually when I got this, when I got the shield. I would have to go back and double check, but my memory is that I was like, I think I said finally, or I thought maybe it was finally. So that was really delightful. I haven't cracked this one yet, but I have realized that these two characters are actually separated differently to what I was doing before. So it's in fact not an M and a P. It's two other characters I haven't worked out yet. Hey, Pixie. He's jumped up on the desk. Pixie, you're giving me a real stare. But it's way too early. It's not time, darling. It's not time, darling. I'm going to get a stare for the next hour. And I have since, this was a really exciting one to figure out that this is ing. I mean, that's a very important part of, English words, right? So that was a thrilling discovery to finally get there. I'd been seeing the two arrows coming together, in quite a lot of places. Powerful discovery. So I don't know what it is, but I do currently suspect that this is Guardian. So the something Guardian, one of many. Interesting. This one, I think this is saying the Easter Bell, the hero struck. Now, this is very interesting for lore reasons, because I guess bit by bit, we've been getting this impression that someone has started this same quest at some point before us. And I think this is a part of it. because this is the first place we went, and we saw that some of the treasure chests were already open there, right? I kind of suspect that this is all a part of that story. So that's very interesting. This one, I think, I'm pretty good with the word ruins. I think this is the ruins of fortress, which makes sense for this area. It mentions fortress many times. This, still partway there, but I am significantly advanced with this one. And obviously this, this is all very, very, very interesting. I'll get a little bit more into kind of how I'm thinking about the lore of this and what it means in the story, but I do think that what this is west something that might be mines. I don't know. I'm not quite there yet with this character. This I don't know. It starts with draw, I think. But I do think that this is light, flame, deep, and I heavily suspect below. So very interesting, important things going on there. This was very exciting to finally, I figured this out on a different page, but I'm pretty sure that this here is port, which makes sense with, I guess, what I was thinking it was. I was thinking this is some kind of access way in some way. A port to the... Now this was one of the most exciting characters to learn, to finally figure out that this one is far. And so because these two are everywhere, and they're clearly important. They're clearly important. Something very important is going on with all of this, what I've been calling like the dream world or the spirit world or whatever it is. It's often described as this, and it's the far something. I haven't worked out what the something is. I suspect it might start with T. It's obviously got to be a simple syllable, which is consonant verb sound, right? It might start with T because a lot of some T words have this upper part to them. Anyway, but I'm not there yet. So I went a way around here because I misinterpreted this character here as N at some point, and I was like, what could this be? Gun house? Fun house? Gunners? Then I just went back to it and went, no, this is a D. This is a D sound. Rebecca, this is guardhouse too. This one is what it says on the packet. This is guardhouse too. So that helped me get Ga. That was great. And similarly, this one is captain of the guard. I'm pretty sure. If I'm correct about Ga, that's captain of the guard. This one, I'm only partway there. As I mentioned before, I was very excited to be able to get the word beneath. There is still some missing characters here for me, so I'm not sure what it is, but it might be that this first word is something like flushed or flooded, which I think both work for the area, right? But actually I think it's flooded. Actually, I think I have come to this character now. I think it's flooded. Actually, yeah, that's news for all of us. I think that's flooded. And lastly, just for the, just for the sort of the incidental text that we get around the game, I'm pretty sure this one is saying the west something of a great... I was very excited to think that this is saying palace, and I think that's true. This one was a mystery to me, and this is literally where I think I've worked out what it is, because this has the circle at the bottom of it. I knew that it had to be a reverse construction, which implies that it's going to be a vowel sound and a consonant sound. Now this top part of the character I had found in other constructions associated with j, d, ul, and b, so I just had a guess. I just kind of tried a few things, and very quickly I thought, edge works, and that means that if you take the circle away here, it's j, and a west edge of a great palace. It works out perfectly. So, again, this isn't confirmed, and please don't, indicate anything about whether any of this is true or, is correct or not correct. But there you go. That's kind of where I'm at with all of this. Now, my friends, I have just a few pages to show you because I have only gone part way with this, right? And I've only really gone ahead with figuring out a few of the pages because this just takes a lot of time. However, this has been like a really fun, like addictive roller coaster ride. So let me show you where I'm at. I am pretty sure about most of this, because the more things that you get, the more words and parts of words that you get, the more they start to confirm each other contextually, right? So I'm pretty sure where I'm at with this is a secret legend, something something, a great something, lies in this far away land. Maybe it is the power to defy death. Now here, this has come from working out this bit by bit. It was like just working out little bits of it and then going, hang on, this is seeming like it's exactly these words that are written right above it, and I'm pretty sure it is power to defy death. Maybe it is the power to defy death, and that makes so much sense with, you know, what it was like literally telling me in the English text anyway, right? Now this I thought was really cool. Do you seek this power, Tiny One? I actually can't remember if I already had Tiny One last time I was talking to you, but I knew that this was something one, and it's so cute, right? It's so cute. I knew it was going to be some kind of cute thing, or like brave one, or fluffy one. I don't know. So really adorable, really adorable. Time to begin your adventure. Here is what you will do. Now this character has been another one of my big mysteries, because it's been in a lot of really important places, and I'm pretty sure it is do. An extremely important word. And I actually think, since putting all of this together, ready for this, I think like one of the very last things that I worked out, just like literally while I was preparing all of this, is actually that this character here, which is another really important one that comes up a lot, is not so, is not now, I think it is why, which means that, you know, it makes sense. Why do you seek this power, Tiny One? Which is a different question. Do you seek this power? No. Why do you seek this power? And that's the question I'm asking as well. This is so important. This is so important. This is very central for what this whole game is about. And again, I have many thoughts on that, but let's move on. You know, a lot of this is more or less sort of the same as where we were, right? I think it's, you know, you need a light, you will need a key, a sword lies at the grave. I'm very comfortable with the word grave. Hero's grave has come up. Hero grave and hero's grave are everywhere. I think this is saying a powerful foe. I haven't fully confirmed this, but it's my guess in a few different places. A powerful foe, or powerful foe. Be careful. I think this is be careful. Okay, this one was very exciting because I think this word here that I was originally thinking was warp. I think it is strange. I think it is strange. And this I worked out is port. So it's a strange port to the far, and we come back to this word that I don't know here. So, but it's a strange port to the far something, to the something. Down here, I've kind of clarified a few things here, and one of the most important ones for me was working out that this red text here that I originally had a guess might be the word vulnerable, I'm pretty sure is danger. So, you know, when you have 0 SP, you are in danger. You in danger, girl. You in danger, girl. To the next. This one was a lot of fun. So, for example, this word here with focus is, I had originally kind of guessed it was essential, then I worked out, because I saw it ended with ul, but then I worked out it starts with k. I thought critical for a little while, and I've landed on crucial. I think it's crucial. Focus is crucial. Super cool. This one took a little bit of back and forth, and this one actually taught me what several, or helped to confirm what several of these parts were, but I was very happy to see that it is actually the word inventory, I'm pretty sure. Still don't know this one. This one remains a mystery. I haven't worked that out yet. I do think this is saying potion, but I'm not, I haven't confirmed it yet. And I do think this one here is look, but it could still be check. I don't think I've confirmed it yet. Again, this is just stuff that takes time, right? This has been exciting as well. So I believe this text at the top is saying this button has one main use, I was able to work out here, but it is and this is another instance where I haven't quite pulled this apart yet, but I think it is powerful. I think it's powerful, but it is a powerful one. Use it, I think, all the time. Use it all the time. These two here, I still don't know. I kind of think it says ruin C, but it's not immediately making sense to me. So pin in that one, right? Pin in that one. But all of this has been a lot of fun to work with as well. So I think what this is saying is hold this to focus on this was a bit of a mystery for me. And I realized that it ends in by. So I think it's nearby. I think contextually it's nearby, on a nearby foe. To roll and dodge, this is that difficult word of stall or still, and I'm pretty sure it's still. To roll and dodge, something still, I knew it ended in L, and I was completely satisfied to guess that this word here is while, meaning this word here is actually why, and that's getting back to what I just kind of very recently worked out and just talked about on the other page. Makes sense, right? To roll and dodge while still. It's beautiful. It's poetry. It works. It clicks together. I love it. It made me very happy. I think it's, I haven't confirmed this, but I think it's while still staying ready to strike. Down here, to raise your shield and, having a bit of a guess at this one, I think it's pierce the foe, something like that. And this I was thinking for a little while might be block, but it didn't make sense to me because it's only one character, so it's lock. This is lock. All right, we're nearly at the end, but I have to show you a few other things. A lot of this is still a work in progress. I just need to go back and spend a bit more time on it. I probably have a lot of the characters, to work out here. It's just again actually putting in the time to kind of check and validate and go through my notes, etc. But I think what we've got here is something along the lines of stamina points represent your something and something to perform certain actions. When you something or perform something moves or certain moves, your stamina points go down. When at 0 SP, you can still do many something or other. Something. I'm literally like trying to work it out now because I recognize all of the parts of this. Anyway, leave it with me. If I have a couple of seconds, I can work that out. But this was very exciting. That's why I've done all of this around it. Disadvantage. This baby here, this word, got me. Like when I had just enough sounds, through kind of the different parts of it, I was able to have a good guess at it. This gave me this very important character at the front here, sa, vin. I got so much from this one word. This was really brilliant. Other bits here I'm sort of working out. This one, I will really just focus on 3 words here actually, the things in the light yellow. Now, I had been calling this stamina, but of course, as I started working out how to recognize, individual characters, I realized this is not the word for stamina. It took me a long while to come across what this is 2 characters and to try and figure out what they are. I got it by finally getting village previously, which gave me V, and I just went, of course it's vigor. What's a word that is like stamina but starts with V? It's vigor. So this is ga, or some similar, depending on your accent, some similar sort of sound, right? This one I thought was really great because I knew it was saying use vigor or stamina to roll. You are something for a tiny something. Now, I originally just thought I interpreted this. My guess was that it was saying something like, you're really you know, like you're really skilled or you're really agile for a tiny fox. But no, it's saying for a tiny moment. It's saying for a tiny moment. But I thought that was kind of cute. This one's been bugging me for a long while because I have known for a long while that you ran out of. Yeah, that this is the word, this is the character for out, which is not this character, but I know that this is watch. So I was like, what possible other phrase could go with watch something? My current guess is that this is also out, but written in a different way, which is it's kind of sneaky of them, and it's kind of a gift. It's kind of a gift because they're giving me, if true, they're giving me some extra data here, which is brilliant, and it's very clever. If so, it's very clever. I am impressed, game. I am impressed. Last page. Oh boy, it's a big one, and I am not finished with this. There's a lot of text on this page, and there's a lot of characters. So let me highlight a couple of important things. First off, sword. I had thought for a long time that this was saying, is this the hero's sword? I had the D sound at the end, so I had that working kind of guess for a while. But because of something or other over here that I figured out, I was able to realize, no, something is going wrong here. Like, these are not saw and as I thought. This is something else. And I was able to get to the realization that I'm pretty sure this is this the hero's blade? Or something. I haven't worked out the something yet. We'll get there. I will get there. I could probably do it in another 5 or 10 minutes, but it's just that there's like 1,000 things to work on, right? This one, I've got a stick, and I think this is giving me the character for because I reckon it just says, just a stick. Just a stick. What I had originally thought here in the shield description was same as the Rudling, I think is left by a Rudling, used to deflect something or other. I haven't come very far with a lot of the bomb text. I'll have to go back to this, but I know that this is saying something that it's made from something. It's made from something. That's as far as I've come. Keys, fruits, eat fruits to restore HP or MP. They are something or other, snacks, whatever it is that's going to be cute. I was very, very happy to see that I made a very good guess with this one here. One is spicy, one is minty. I wouldn't have expected minty, but I think that's what it's saying. Ivy? Ivy? Is ivy minty? You shouldn't eat ivy, right? This one, huge delight. Huge delight with working out that this is the word betray. I don't know what the full sentence here is, but my guess, because I have the nz at the end of it, I think it's saying betray for funds. I'm not sure, but it's definitely saying to betray it, which makes a lot of sense because, in episode 1, I found one of these, I used it, and we smashed it on the ground and gems came out of it. I think that's how we're betraying it. Maybe. I think that's what they're saying. The doll, this was really cool, this one. Doll of the, I spent a bit of time working out that this is beloved hero. This is the doll of the beloved hero. Again, some very, very interesting lore implications here, thinking about who is this hero, right? Foes will be tricked. I just think that's delightful. I just think that's a delightful sentence. This is the doll of the beloved hero. Foes will be tricked. I really like that one. Now, some big stuff has come out of this meaty, chunky, interesting text here, and I'm not completely done with it, so there is more to come. But let me tell you, this text here at the top has shaken me a bit, because this is where I had a guess about this character being soul, and therefore this word being soul. Some items use the power of your soul. This is our magic items. Do our magic items use soul? Use my soul? Very freaking interesting implications here. Let's go on. Magic points refill when you rest. But this is a really bad but here, right? This is a bad but. I think what it's saying is they refill when you rest, but something I haven't worked out is something else I haven't figured out either, but I have enough to have a guess. This is the word that worries me. This is the guess that worries me. I have enough to guess at the moment that this is saying finite. So I think it's saying that we use souls to use and to replenish our magic points, but there's a finite source of them. Of a finite, maybe it is finite source of souls in the world. I think this is world, I'm not sure. Guys, does that mean I shouldn't be, and I'm not asking, I'm wondering, should I be using my magic? I've been using them willy-nilly. What if at some point I just can't use them anymore? This gives me a genuine conundrum. Genuine conundrum. Anyway, so let's move on. This was amazing as well. This is where I found out that this is blade and not sword. Because originally I thought that what this was saying was life solid. And I was like, life solid of the hero? What are you talking about? No, I eventually realized it's lifeblood. Lifeblood of the hero. And what this is talking about is our magic potion. Our magic potion is the freaking lifeblood of the hero. That's sort of like the souls. That's in its own way a little bit weird and dark. That's a little bit weird and dark. What are you talking about? It's very cool that they use the word quaff here. I have to give them points for that. Lovely word usage. Lifeblood of the hero, quaff to restore, your will to go on. One of my favorite phrases in all of this. I still adore it so much. And I haven't really figured out a lot of the others. The parts, find them and you get a free flask, I think that says. Oh, up here I think it's saying that the Holy Cross is more than a something item, and I'm literally like looking at my book as if I can, scan it within like 2 seconds, and I can't. I may know what this is, but I didn't at the time of writing this, so I'm not sure. But the Holy Cross is more than a something item. I don't know what the something is yet. I haven't really gone through this yet. And just a couple of nice little things here. I think what it's saying about the cards is cards are ways to be inspired to something greatness, which is just cool. Like, I don't know if it's important, but it's a really great form of expression. It's a really great form of expression. Whew, that's a lot. This has taken a long time. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for, for your patience as I go through this. And I hope for at least a lot of you, this has been really interesting. We'll leave this part of the analysis here for the time being. This has been a lot. All right, we're back. We're back. I have so many thoughts. I have so many thoughts from all of this related to the things that are around us right now. So let me just say to you, like, we've seen. Oh, hello. Oh, hang on. I wasn't really prepared. No, I forgot. I've got to actually do gaming. Oh, I am getting slaughtered here. Sorry, little fox. Maybe Tunic. Sorry. This is fine. Look, we can do it from here. I've been in analysis mode. Damn it. Okay, it's not your fault. One of the things that I've been thinking about is, what the hell is this? What is this glowy pink, goopy electricity stuff? I don't know yet. However, I can make some more connections with it. It seems like what is going on in this area, this is the perfect way to do this. What is going on in this area is we have these energy conduits, that are able to provide power to like our warp point in the middle there, right? As far as I can tell, it seems likely that this pink goopy electricity stuff is possibly coming from like the giant pink humming room that seems like a nuclear reactor of some sort, right? that seems to be an energy source, and maybe that's where the energy source is being mined or generated in some other fashion. I don't know. It seems connected. Now, we've also got these birds. I had originally thought they were like robots, but I don't know. They're probably just birds. Probably just birds. But that they've got pink glowy eyes. Like, and we do have, you know, we have areas in this area where the pink gloopy stuff is like falling into the environment. So I'm wondering if they've been essentially transformed through some sort of pink goopy irradiation of some sort, and it's sort of made them more aggressive or something like that. I don't know. But another thing I'm thinking about, taking a step back, is really what is the other story of this whole area here, right? Obviously, we've been able to see, let's step back, we've been able to see that there are, so it's interesting, right? So much of what we're sort of seeing, just literally seeing around us, are ruins, like things are like broken. We're also getting it confirmed in the text, as I'm able to translate it, that things literally are ruins. So I have a question, you know, like I have one of many questions, which is like, what's the history here? What's the history we're dealing with in this land? Why are many things destroyed? Are they destroyed or are they decayed? Are they decayed over time? I don't know. Even here, there's already a certain level of destruction / decay to some degree. And yet, here where we are, in, I don't know, present time, let's say, there's even more of it. There's even more destruction than is represented on the map. So that's kind of interesting. In addition to that, we have another factor, which is these things are around the water, are like destroyed and sitting in the water in various places. Now, yeah, I don't know. So are they like automatons? Was there some kind of battle here? Was there some kind of war? And these are the fallen. And if they are the fallen, were they doing the attacking of innocence, let's say? Or were they doing the defending of innocence? I don't know. But it seems like something like that is happening, right? So that's another sort of big question I have. Like, why are there ruins, and to like how many different sort of points in the history are we sort of dealing with here? Is another really interesting thing for me. One of the things that I also mentioned, you know, like kind of following the steps of this question along, is like who we appear to be dealing with a hero. Now, who is represented in this manual? I suppose my first natural thought, and maybe most people's natural thoughts when they get this manual, is like, this is us, right? This is representing our experience of the game. But I guess I'm inclined to think, well, surely not. Surely this manual existed before us. I don't know, you know, how that works. But like, what if this is the previous hero? Or what if it's yet another previous hero? What if we're dealing with multiple previous heroes and we're the current iteration of them? We might be. So if we are the same, if we're let's say an iteration of many generations of hero, it makes sense why we look the same, why we're wearing the same things, why we look the same. But actually, it could be because we, whoever this fox is, it could be that we admire or want to be that hero of the past, of yore, and we've dressed like them. We're doing cosplay because they keep doing that, but it makes my point, because bam, we love them, or we admire them, or we want to be them, or we're trying to save them. One of these many options, right? That makes a lot of sense to me. Now, I have one other wild theory that I have been unable to suppress, and I'm going to let you know, but let's keep in mind that this is, you know, all of this is just, you know, ideas ping-ponging around in my head as I'm trying to, like, put things together, but I have written down here in my notes to let you know, hang on, I was trying to do this. Is this who may be our mother, or maybe someone else? Maybe it's our older sister. I don't know. Let's say it's our mum, just for convenience sake. Could it be that our mum is the previous hero in her youth? Could it be that this is what she looks like as a mother, but in her youth, she played this game, and she is the previous hero? And did she not get as far as we are getting? Maybe. I don't know. But then what? But then why would she be represented in two different places in the map? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. This is very interesting to me. So yeah, I'm thinking about all of these things. What we're gonna do right now, and I realize I have absolutely talked. I have talked for a long time, but I just think this is the playthrough I'm doing, right? And there are times when this is necessary. I'm gonna let this episode run a little bit longer so we just get a little bit of we get a bit more gameplay. But I know exactly what I'm doing first here. All I've got to do. I got stuck. Damn it. I'm gonna end up back at that thing. What I want to do is a couple of things. I realized that I don't think I tried to go around here. And that was super remiss of me. I was looking, oh my god, of course. I was looking back at the episode where I first went down here, and I was like, oh, Rebecca, you amateur, what on earth? That's how I get over here. I didn't even expect this to be as interesting as it was. I just thought maybe there's a treasure chest or something back there. Hang on. To do exactly what I just said, let me be careful in my checking. Oh my god, I didn't even expect this would let us get to the other side. But I was just looking back at the footage and I was like, you fool! You got distracted because I was down here for the first time. I went over here and then I was like, oh my god, what's over here? And I did not come back to check this. That is so cool. We've gone behind a waterfall. And we've made it to the other side. What are you looking at up there, Tunic? Well, it could be this, maybe, I don't know, I'm trying, oh my god, guys. I'm trying my best to say they. I'm trying my best and I'm going to try harder, I promise. I've done this in some other playthroughs, right? I'm just going to sort of give you the explanation for why I have this real tendency of saying he when it comes to animals. It's because for the past 8 years of my life, I have been my life has revolved around my two cats, who, are both boys, and we just say he for animals, like 10,000 times in the day. It really bugs me that ends up becoming like the default. So obviously this this could be, and this fox could be any other gender. So apologies for that. I'm doing my best. The best. What? Oh, hang on. We've completed another spread. That's so exciting. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with this. All right. There's probably like some characters. In fact, let's say there's definitely a bunch of characters that as I'm working on this, I get very quick at identifying, right? So I reckon I'm like getting to the point where I can do like on the fly interpretation here to a certain degree. Like I can immediately tell you that word with the little dot on the bottom is and. I have seen and many times. In fact, I think it might be and do. You know what? I could probably have a good go at this right now, but it would be very stop and start, and it wouldn't be hugely interesting. So let's mainly do what we've been doing. Let's actually examine this page. Let's examine it. Spyrite and Saphirak. Wow, because it's an arachnid with sapphires. And Spyrite because it is a spider with... I know there is a gem that sounds like this, and I'm trying to make sure I get the exact... Is it pyrite? I'm literally looking this up right now. Is pyrite or something like that a gem? Or something along those lines, right? Yeah, pyrite. Okay. Alright, cool. Don't be fooled. The mark on their backs is a trick. Oh. Well, it's good to know it's a trick. There's an arrow. There's an arrow. Ooh, ho, ho. It's good to know it's a trick, but I don't know what kind of a trick it is. I guess we will find out. That's an arrow pointing to a cave that needs to be accessed by going across water, I'm guessing. What are we, where are we even looking at here? This is interesting. Hang on. So this little thing here, that's a shop. Obviously we've got lots of the... Oh man, there's so much. My mind is going 10,000 miles a minute. We've got, I think this is representing the electricity conduits maybe? Coming from the CRT plinths. That's a shrine. That's another shop. There's another shop behind the shrine there. This is, oh my god. This appears to be a conduit that is attached to a shrine. There's so many. There's so many. And this is to the overworld. Okay. So there's some kind of connection here to the part of this land that we're familiar with. This, okay. Without doing any translation here, this is surely... In fact, I can already see that this text on the first black arrow here is saying, to the far something. And I know this. I know that this is what these warp points do now. Whereas this is to the hero's grave. Yes, I've already figured this out as well. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. And this is highlighting the word, actually, no, you know what? I was going to say grave. It's not grave. It's something else. Frey. What was it? It's Frey something, I'm pretty sure. It's Frey. No. Pray. Pray. Maybe it's prayer. Prayer. It's probably saying prayer is what you do to activate both of those. Prayer. Got it. Okay. I can't help it. Custodians. They look very cool and they have candles. I like it. They look like they've been woken up in the middle of the night, which is awesome. Caretakers of the vault who have learned some magic. Candles can be put out. That's very interesting. Is the candle like the source of their power, or are we just talking about making things light or dark? Now what I was trying to look at before was this. To the arrow with up arrow with gem. What were you? I can't remember offhand, but I know that that's a K sound. I'll work it out. Something else. Something else. Let's not do too much live. And that must be you. You already looked very scary on this page. This was already very intimidating, right? But I'm going to say that this makes them look even more intimidating, because look at the presence they have on this freaking map. That is now seeming like a crazy mega boss to me. Not even like a Garden Knight boss. This is seeming way worse. This is seeming way worse, but it looks so cool. It looks so cool. I literally think... No, I don't know. It's going to take me too long to work this out. I kind of want to do it. Okay. Ooh! Hey! Hey! Is that what we were just looking at before? Because this is from the... Of course it is. I'm so pleased. I mean, look, either one is going to be a great experience. This is always the way it is, right? This is the beauty of games like this, where you can come across things and everybody will have their own very, very totally unique experience with the game that lets you find things in different orders and therefore have very different introductions to new elements and new concepts and new areas, and also to have different stages of interpretation, like different stages of discoveries that lead to different sort of perspectives of interpretation, right? Each one is valid and each one is fun in its own way, but I just, I guess we're always happy with the one that we have, right? I think we have that tendency as, as human beings. And so I find myself going, I am so glad I'm seeing this now after I've already seen it in full, because I had no idea to expect anything like that. But actually, it would be equally cool to have seen this and gone, what the freaking hell is that? And then to actually come across the full thing. I think both experiences would be amazing. But I'm sure that that's what that must be. That's in fact the little beginning part of the island that we landed on there, I think. That's such a beautiful picture. Now, the next thing my eye is drawn to is what's going on here with the clouds? And why does that look like... I mean, it looks to me like it's a map. It looks to me like all of these other clouds, they have a sort of a shape, like a pattern to like the way that they're drawn, the way that they're floating, etc., etc. This one is clearly different. This actually looks like a top-down map, or it could be a what's the word? It's not. This is not the right word. A slice. Yeah. Hey, Pixie, have you got big zoomies after your dinner? I can hear him doing like big runs and big meows in the other room. You gonna do a big jump? You gonna do a big jump? Oh, everybody, Pixie did a big jump into the cupboard. He's so proud of himself. Other than that, this picture looks very lovely. Very, very, very lovely art. Excellent waves. I love them. The ruined atoll. Oh, I'm gonna really enjoy getting stuck into this. Wow, is this the first time I've seen them use a number that's not written? It might not, but either way it's unusual. And surely what it's saying is there are 4 of these, because these are the 4 that we prayed activated in order to power our way to this, which I think is probably the library. Very cool. Very cool. I wonder what the little crabby here is thinking. Okay, absolutely amazing. And that also completes this spread. That's really nice. That's really satisfying. Oh my god. What else lies? This. Oh, we're so lucky! Another coin, and I know what to do with it, I think. Or at least I know one thing to do with it. You chuck it in the well. And you get another wish. And maybe what that means is that I get to use 2 different cards at once. Now that is definitely an entrance. Ah! Shop? No. Hang on. What's this music? I don't even want to go forward just yet. What is this music? Whoa. All right. Okay, hang on. I'm just trying to check where I can move here. Oh, so is there like a hidden... Hang on, is there a hidden pathway here? Yeah, because I can't go straight forward there. Oh my god. Hang on, where am I going? Where the hell am I going? I'm going out again. Okay. Alright. Let's try again. Surely we can find our way. Down. There must be a way to turn in. All right, let's see if we can find a way in. Yeah. Whoa, I feel like we're getting there. Come on, you can do it. Tunic, you can do it. Hey, Pixie. Hey. Sorry, I gotta stop for pats. He's off. That doesn't get me there. So maybe we've got to... Yep, we've got to go around. Surely. Oh, this is feeling good. Yes. What this? It's a huge amount of money. Hang on. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Okay. My God, guys. I didn't even get the shortcut open. I had... I really wanted to do that, but we're going to do that in the next episode. What a find. What a find. Amazing. All right. I hope this has been enjoyable. I hope you've enjoyed like both like my massive amount of language analysis. Obviously, this is one of the big ones, right? Because this is where I've had to talk about a lot about the language, about my new appreciation for it and the way I've been tackling it and the way I've been understanding it, as well as what I have learned from it initially. I think from here, there's a very good chance I could have most of this thing covered, you know, just whenever I get the time to actually sit down and do that work. It is time consuming. And I made a conscious choice. I was like, I've taken this very far. I've taken this far enough that I can come very far with a lot of the translation. I'm going to translate a big bunch of stuff, but that's where I want to come and like touch base with you all again about where I am. You know, I'm fairly sure that I could just continue on with the manual and probably get most stuff, but let's leave that for another time. We don't need to rush. We're in no real rush. We've learned a lot. I am overwhelmed with all of the stuff I have to think about, but I'm having a great time and I hope you are too. If you've been enjoying, I always appreciate likes for the video, subscribes for the channel if you're not subscribed, and of course, positive comments. I greatly appreciate. As a general rolling reminder, just make sure that you're not like confirming or denying in any way any of the stuff I've been talking about, you know, here. Even things I think I've figured out, I'm constantly finding out I'm wrong. I'm constantly revising and going, actually, that's not right. So, you know, just make sure no confirmations or anything in your comments. But other than that, you know, just very general, vague comments. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate them. And I will see you in the next episode, guys. Bye-bye.